with us.
Yeah, we're going to have your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
Right. I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over. Right. You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
it
sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free.
Right.
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Pumpermental day, or Pumperlicious as I like to say. Stocks, crypto, and Pulsechain prices rally again 2 days in a row. Of course, after that ruthless weekend that we had, it was pretty crazy. And of course, Monday as well, with the Asian markets spurring off a massive sell-off in stocks, crypto, and of course, Pulsechain to some degree, although it got softened, as we know, by some important buyers. So kind of cool. Let's get into it, folks. We've got lots to talk about. We're going to hear from Michael Saylor today. So we're going to hear from him and his views on the bounce back in Bitcoin. And we're also obviously going to cover all the markets pretty much. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Meme coins, crypto, just generally everything. It's going to be pretty good. We should have fun there too. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. Let's see how we've gone. We've got Lies Beneath in the house here. Hello, how are you today? Very good. It's sunny outside. So that's kind of cool. Always nice to have it sunny. I just see I got my other mic on. We got Hex Pulse Hex incentive for the 100%. Doing pretty well. I think they had a little bit of pullback just in the last hour, but other than that, doing extremely well. Has been Hex Pulse Hex incentive. We got Unprotected Hex in the house there. Can't wait for the real bull market to start. We've all been faithful for so long. Haha, says Unprotected Hex. Absolutely. Hey, look, I'm still picking October as the real period, and of course volatility until then. And we're going to talk about, Michael Saylor talks a bit about that, I think. So we're going to get to that. Eddie had Vina in the house there, Hex Token channel member, represent. Lies Beneath too is also a Hex Token channel member. Shout out. Glad to catch the Hex Token live today. Let's get this thing pumping. Woo! Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it in pumping. We've got Sandy Beach as well, Hex Token channel member and a moderator. Here, hello, Hex Token, everybody. Hey, Sandy, hope you're doing well. Keep doing all the good stuff there on X platform. And Sandy's been really traveling and doing lots of things. Living a life in, not Las Vegas, but in, I don't know, Alita, Las Vegas. I don't know. But Sandy's been out and about. So it's kind of cool. We got UFO in the house there. When Maps, Jacob, 2 more months. Hey, look, it does appear to be taking longer than expected on that. Now, we're having a full-on the Syndicate on Mafia show coming up on Friday US, Saturday down under time. That's going to be with the Don Capone. So that's already been scheduled. You can see it on the channel here. So look forward to that. We're going to talk about quite a bit about the Mafia game. We're going to get Archie's insights into that. So it's going to be really cool. We don't want to miss that. We're obviously going to talk about the Syndicate family itself, but we're also talking about the game and, of course, Pulsechain and BNB, where that's sitting. All right, we got Sandy Beach in the house there. I'll be traveling soon. Just was in Vegas. How about that? So I was just joking about that, but there we go. Not bad call. All right, so let's get into it, folks. Let's get into the news. Get into the chat. Make it lively. That's how we like to rock and roll. We're going to start off with the stock market, of course, and S&P 500 ends higher. Isn't that great? As dip buyers return after the rout that we had. Pretty cool. We've got the Dow Jones up 0.75%, 294 points, almost 300, back to 38,997. We've got the S&P 500 up over 1%, 54 points almost at 5,240. We've got the NASDAQ up 1% at 16,358. That's up 158 points. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Looking good. Let's go over to the commodities. At the moment, West Texas and Brent oil are both down slightly, 0.5%, say, down to $70.87 and $76 respectively for the oil. We got gold down 0.25%, $6 at $2,425. We got silver down 1%, 26 cents at $26.95. Now, even though it's down today, keep a lookout when we get that interest rate pivot later in the year. Let's look what happens with the US dollar. Does it devalue, and does silver and gold go on a rally? So that's what we're looking forward to there. That's pretty much it. So we are ticking away. We do have economic data coming up. So let's go to the economic calendar. Let me see here. Economic data. I thought they had it on this link here. It's on tools. Let's go to the Fed rate monitor quickly and have a quick look at the expectations around interest rates. That's obviously going to be a big deal. Now, still 6 weeks away, but are we going to get the Fed doing an emergency meeting? We'll see whether they do that, but we're still 6 weeks away at the moment. We've got September, as you can see, 72% of the market is expecting a 50 basis point rate cut. 50 basis points, that's great. And of course, but it's still 6 weeks away. So will they do it earlier? We shall see. We've got 28% expecting only a 25 basis points mark. I think I'm in the 50 basis points camp here. We've still got a bit of time between then, some economic news. So still a little bit of question there, but I think we've probably got enough to do that. Then a November's meeting. We've got another, we've got 23% of the market expecting 50 basis points, but only 58% expecting 25 basis points. So that would be 75 basis points altogether. So we're probably going to get somewhere between 3/4 and 1 percentage point by November. Let's see what December holds. Yeah, December's not really much further down from there. A little bit, maybe 25 basis points. We've probably got a third of the market, so it's still up in the air there. Will we get over one percentage point or 1.25 percentage points by the end of the year? That's the question there. That would bring it down from 5.5%, right, down to maybe 4.25. So we shall see. We shall see. Let's have a look. We've got economic data coming out this week, though, on the economic calendar. So we'll have a quick look at that. We don't generally look at that. But as you could see, it does, like the employment data last week, can make an impact with unemployment rates and, non-farm payrolls and things like that. We do have some stuff coming up this week. What do we got here? We've got manufacturing coming up. That's going to be pretty important. So, yeah, it looks like we've got 51.4. So that is a current time. We've got the only thing here I can see that's maybe of interest is Thursday. We've got the initial jobless claims coming out. Forecast is 245,000. Will we underperform that? That is the question. Probably is going to happen. That could cause some jitters on a Thursday US time. So just keep that on your diary there. That's the one that might impact us quite a bit. Looks like the manufacturing is pretty much on target, so no problems there. But this initial jobless claims that could rattle like we did last Friday. The markets on Thursday, very important data that in the context of what we're seeing so far. All right, that jumps into the Nikkei. We can see the Japanese market, which is where, we kind of had crypto go down and then the Japanese market go down. And we've got the futures down here, 2.4% at the moment. So it looks like that's just down slightly at the moment. Let's see where we end up with the Asian markets opening up this afternoon, of course, where that's going to go. Looks like it's open here. And we'll see where that will land in the next 24 hours. Pretty important, as long as it doesn't bleed out too much. And hopefully it will turn during the day and go green. So we'll keep a lookout for that. We may have, tape it off a little bit with the 2-day post rally. So we'll see how we get on. This is currently, of course, Wednesday for the Asian stock market there after Monday's rout. So let's see where we go. Hopefully it's going to, follow the US markets a bit, but doesn't always necessarily will do that. So we'll keep a look eye out on the Japanese. That leads us into crypto. We got any more comments in here? We got more comments. We got Property View announced there. Good coverage. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And we got Wookie announced as well. Hey, Wookie, hope you're doing well. The champion is here, the Champions League. Yeah, Wookie won his golf championship and got a cool cup. You can see that in the Discord under non-crypto stuff. So well done to Wookie. You deserve a bit of a pat on the back there. Tin Top's in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? Hey, Tin Top, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the chat as well. So we've talked about stocks being green, crypto's green, and we're almost it's 56,000 on Bitcoin, up 3.1%. Isn't that cool? And I was trying to get the dominance, 54.69%. So Bitcoin is still on the higher side of dominance for what we've seen lately. 54.69%, so still doing pretty well. We've obviously got Bitcoin Cash. I actually don't talk enough about Bitcoin Cash. It's always snuck down the bottom here. We've got Ethereum at the moment up only slightly, a third of 1% at $2,459. We've still got Solana doing pretty well, up 8.6%, $143.94. Pretty good. XRP's looking nice up there, 50 cents, 33 cents an ADA. Tron at 12.3 cents. BNB is up 2.3% there at $483. That's kind of the general mix there amongst the leaders. Matic's green as well, up 4.64%. Not bad from Matic actually. So some standouts there. Solana, Matic, looking pretty good. What else are we going to say about that? I think that's it. So let's jump over to Bitcoin. Zoom in on that. We got Bitcoin on the hourly here. So you can see we got all the way down. Wasn't that crazy? All the way down to $49,050. Yeah. Are we going to go back and test that again? That's the question. The next 6 weeks are still said volatile. So just remember that. And we have managed to rally back up here. We got back to 57,000, but really we need to get back up over this probably 58 is my guess, 58.7. So we've got a bit of work to do. Are we going to continue to zag up there, or we're going to roll over and go back and down and test this 50K again? Let's see what happens there. That is the hourly. Let's go to the daily on Bitcoin. So we got some support here, just below, well, I guess just above this sort of resistance here in January, and just below the support that we had in February. We've smashed that down. So, question mark there. Will we go back and test the top of the range, 52,500? Obviously down to 50,000 there as well. 50,500. We go back to test that or not, or we're going to go up from here. Obviously, we've got the interest rate pivot in September, still 6 weeks away. So that's why I say volatility to here. September is typically the negative month. However, we are in a Bitcoin halving year, and typically we'll see good performance with the beginning of the rally. And maybe mid-September is when it's really going to tick off here. Maybe it'll be a bit later than normal, and we really tick off in September here with the interest rate pivot. And of course, we know October is bullish for crypto. It's the opposite of the September month, and up we go. And then, of course, we've also got and probably have a second interest rate cut on November. Like I say, it could be 75 basis points by then, or 1 percentage point. That could be pretty bullish. And the US election, and of course, Trump being pro crypto, that would be the super bullish outcome, right? So not just for freedom, because that's fundamental, right, to our lives. We can already see that the Labour governments in the UK and in Australia are colluding together. They're looking to pretty much put a police state in. And of course, they're just crazy people, right? So just going to remove freedoms and move, the West towards, I guess, fascist states. Like you see in, in China and places like that. So it's kind of look what we're going to have there, and that's kind of where we're at the moment. So freedom is the ultimate. Trump really is the Trump card. He's the last man standing. For the rest of us. So fingers crossed he wins that, not only for crypto, but for freedom as well, because he's got to then, destroy a lot of the stuff, the deep state, the global agreements, things like that. It's got a lot of work to do, should he win. All right, so that's where we are with crypto. Let's go over to where we are. We had some bullish news, of course, with funds coming in after that big rout that we saw in the market on Monday. So kind of cool. Global on August the 5th, global trade volume surpassed 200 billion, and currently 24-hour statistics show at 150 billion, and volume has been finalized the following day. Data reveals that Binance, the leading crypto exchange by trading volume, experienced inflows of 1.2 billion over the past day. Binance CEO Richard Teng noted that this marks one of the highest net inflows of 2024. Now, that's kind of bullish there, so kind of cool, but we've had a lot of volatility, of course, and that's what we're expected to see. So that's pretty cool. And that's going to lead us into our video here with a Sailor, so we'll hear from him about his thoughts on this Bitcoin volatility and recovery. So let's get into it.
Stocks are higher right now as they come off their worst day in nearly 2 years. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is staging a comeback as well, up more than 5%. And crypto-adjacent names like Coinbase and MicroStrategy are also attempting at comebacks here. Joining us now to discuss is Michael Saylor, co-founder and chairman of MicroStrategy. Michael, it's great to speak with you. Thanks for being back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we did see this mini crash in Bitcoin yesterday. It's traded as a risk-on asset, considered a proxy for liquidity in the markets. At least one technician I've spoken to in the last 24 hours said we're really range-bound here, up to 61,000. What's the next catalyst? What breaks it out?
You know, I think the events of Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville a few weeks ago were just very catalytic and marked an inflection point for Bitcoin. You had presidential candidates, you had governors, you had senators, you had House members, you had CEOs, you had billionaire investors in the audience. Senator Lummis presented a strategic Bitcoin reserve bill, and that's our Louisiana Purchase moment. What happened there was the Overton window shift. Now it's possible to discuss nation states holding Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And if nation states are going to buy it, then it's reasonable for institutions, corporations, and individuals to buy it as well. So that was tremendous.
And former President Trump got behind the idea, too. So it's a good idea? You think a strategic reserve for Bitcoin is a good idea?
Well, Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Territory for $15 million in 1803 and nearly double the size of the United States. Seward paid $7 million for Alaska. It's got $1 trillion of oil underneath it. Everybody's going to be doing business in cyberspace. Bitcoin is scarce, desirable digital property. It's a great idea to trade a little bit of currency or paper for some place that billions of people are going to be in 100 years. So yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Interesting. I mean, I feel like there's always been this ethos around Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general that they're decentralized, digital gold. You've called it digital real estate in the past, and it's sort of a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against government spending too much money, for example. So the idea that governments would be holding it seems like it goes against that.
You know, it's desirable property. And if you're capitalizing a country based upon scarce desirable property, buying Manhattan, buying the United States, buying Alaska, anywhere you can do business, it's the basis of a great empire. So, no, I think it's a good idea for a nation, but it's an equally good idea for a corporation, an individual, a family, or the like.
Okay, so Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is clearly on the ballot. What's at stake then in November?
You know, and what you have is two constituencies. You've got traditional finance, and traditional finance operates 19% of the time. It costs $40 million to take a company public. You know, there's no credit, there's no liquidity on the weekend. Bitcoin represents a different thing. It represents the 21st century. So I think the millennials are looking at the world today, and they think, electricity, water, elevators, the internet, they operate 100% of the time. Bitcoin operates 100% of the time. Why are we stuck with 20th century banks, money markets, and capital markets that shut us down at 4 p.m. on Friday, don't open up until 9:30 on Monday? You know, if we did that to your food, your water, or your air, it would be considered cruel and unusual punishment.
You're buying more here. You've raised more debt to do that in recent months, filed last week to sell more shares. How does this strategy continue to play out?
MicroStrategy is a Bitcoin development company. We're an operating firm, and that means we have some advantages over a trust company. We've got permanent capital. We can generate cash flows. We've got operating flexibility. Our shareholders want more Bitcoin per share. They think if we get more Bitcoin per share, that's creating shareholder value. That means we're pursuing BTC yield. Whenever we can do a capital markets transaction that's accretive and generates more Bitcoin per share, we'll do it. We have the ability to sell equity into the market at a premium to net asset value. We have the ability to issue convertible bonds. We have the ability to generate operating cash flow. We're just going to keep generating more Bitcoin per share any way we possibly can by selling the volatility of the asset class and then sweeping it into the underlying asset.
founded as an enterprise software company, business intelligence, MicroStrategy. That business has enabled the build out of this Bitcoin book. Can the core business continue to generate enough cash flow to support the business for Bitcoin, or support Bitcoin and the business there, given the fact that revenue has been stagnating?
The business is stable, and it is a cash cow, and we have a lot more room to issue debt based upon that cash flow. But we've also got options like convertible bonds and equity and the like, and some other strategic alternatives that will allow us to continue to raise capital to buy Bitcoin.
So as you can see, that is a pretty bullish from Sailor there. Accumulate more Bitcoin. It's still considered very cheap, right down at these levels. People talking about 150K, like Tom Lee for this bull market cycle. You got Richard Hart talking on what 240, I think it was, on his call, and other people in some of the ETFs are talking about even higher. Like some people talking about 75% of gold market value, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, pretty awesome. Let's get into Ethereum. Don't forget to get in the chat there, make it lively. We've got Ethereum at the moment just pulling back here on the hourly. So you can see that just tapered off the last couple of hours at 2,450. Got resistance at 2,550 here on several hours here. You can see that on the recovery. So let's see if it can zigzag back up rather than roll over. We just see a little bit of tapering off the last couple of hours. Let's go to the daily on the old Ethereum. And yeah, yesterday, man, wow, we got down to 2,116. Can you believe it? We started the day high at 2,700. So that's a 600-day move. But of course, over the period of the week, we were way up at $3,400. We went all the way down to 2,100. So there we go, folks. If you don't believe that big percentage movements have on particular days, you can kind of see it in the chart if you look back at enough of these big moving days. But here we are back at 2,450. So a modest recovery at this stage. So that's where we go. Let's jump over into Bitcoin runes. We're going to move into the meme coin space. Now, obviously, Dog has actually performed like a boss. So I've been talking about Dog. Also, if you're in Strategy Club and Discord, been talking about that, posted recently about that too. So if you want to join Strategy Club, the link's in the video description, $35 a month to join that. We look at multi-chain opportunities from meme coins to AI coins to ROI protocols to utilities. So you name it, we're looking at it. So yeah, Dog go to the moon there, 5.5 sats, up by 28.7% today. So that would be really good. If you'd picked this up off the bottom 2 days ago, you would have been very, very happy indeed. So kind of cool. And we got everything else looking pretty good on runes. Banker Nakamoto dollar up, Ryzik up 16%. You got the Pepe Pie World meme rune. So we've got quite a few new memes jumping into the top 10. And you can see the big percentage gains that they make to get there. Already go to the Mars jumped in here as well. So pretty impressive returns there. So like I said, Runes Protocol is the new territory on Bitcoin meme season for the first time. You really don't want to miss it as part of your portfolio. It's worth taking, but I would definitely take the top ones because there's a long way to go. So Dog go to the moon's why we keep pushing that. There will be others will be more speculative. So you really need to know what you're looking at. Now we've also had Lobo, the Wolf Pup, done pretty well as well, up 36%, and we're a big backer of Lobo, a great team, and they got airdropped also to Dog Go to Moon holders through the runestones on the NFT collections. You have to go to collections for that. And let's see, actually, is runestone still holding up there? Not in the top 10 at the moment, so that's pretty interesting. They'll probably jump back there later on. Still got 2 airdrops included in it for later on once Dog makes some key milestones. Kind of cool. So market cap at the moment, 303 million on Dog. Remember, got up to 980 million. So yeah, if it rebounds, if it breaks a certain price chart, it's going to really move. So let's have a quick look at Gate.io, and we can see here on the 15-minute chart. Let's go to the hourly. Probably a bit better to look at the hourly. Big recovery. We got down to 1.1800th of a penny, and we rallied all the way up to 3200th of a penny. Just cooling off, looks like the rest of the market at the moment, just back down to 2900th of a penny, so just below 0.3 of a cent at the moment on the old Dog there on Gate. Gate's the number one centralized exchange. Magic Eden's the number one runes or decentralized exchange. Just give you there. Now, anytime Binance might pick this up, that Binance has been talking about the Runes protocol. Runes protocol just came out of alpha into beta as well, so that's been a big push there. And so, yeah, it's going to be exciting to see this play out. And of course, can it top the top memes? So that's going to be really interesting to see. Let's have a look at the top memes at the moment on a coin market cap. You can see Dodge at the moment still holding up, down 23% for the week, though. So memes are still down for the week despite the 2-day rally. Dodge is down 2.4% on 24-hour, down slightly on the hourly there, sitting just below 14 billion. Like I say, when we started covering this some time back, when I started including memes coins, this was up at $24 billion. So it's come down about $10 billion since that time. And this week alone, it's down 23% still. So, it's the leverage, and we need that positive uptrend versus the downtrend. But nice little recovery, nevertheless. Let's see what else we got going. We just climb down here. You can see some of the big losers have been dog with hat. So very big volatility on dog with hat, but you get the big upside too once it gets the uptrend. So just remember that. And what else there? Scrolling down here. Actually, I need to make sure I filtered on the market correctly. Yeah, there we go. And we got dog here sitting down here at 303. You can see. So pretty cool. And up the big mover. Look, up 19% at the moment. It's been up much higher than that. Obviously, it's just rolling around at the moment, sitting just below 0.3 of a penny. Kind of cool. And if it breaks higher, higher, then it could go to 4,500 of a penny. So we'll be looking out for that. But at the moment, it is following the market down as we speak. So question mark over that. That's kind of the next target. If it does break the trend, it could break the downtrend that we saw on Gate.io. And then, of course, that would be 4,500 of a penny after that. So fingers crossed we can get another good day turnaround. But at the moment, the market is tapering a bit, as we see with the profit taking. That's it. Now, one thing I was going to talk about, a lot of these Trump tokens have been very popular. But one of what we just saw today, I don't know if you saw it just a couple of hours ago, we saw Eric Trump and the older brother, just forgetting his name now off the top of my head, but they both talking about how they're getting into crypto big time, and they got big news coming out about crypto. So both the two Donald Trump sons about to get into crypto big time, and they got some news coming up. So keep abreast of that. That's a big trend with the Trump there. Now this is MAGA Trump on Ethereum. And of course, the other big one that we've seen that launched, when Trump's assassination was the Fight token. That's come off a lot, right? That's come off a lot, but the Trump MAGA is still holding up here, relatively speaking, still sitting, $157 million at the moment. So keep a lookout for that theme. Obviously, the election's coming up as well. So there we go. All right, so that's a lot on the meme coins. Total market cap on all crypto, 1.99 trillion, just below the 2 trillion mark, up 3% on the 24-hour basis at the moment. And that's where we are, folks. All right, so let's go over to Pulsechain, day 451, is it? I think that's the day we're doing. Yeah, I think it's 451. We got Pulse at the moment is at quadruple zero. It says 452 here, so maybe it's for day 452. Forgotten now. I think it is day 452 actually. Quadruple zero 392, up 2.87%. Just at 39% of the mean sacrifice price. What else there? We've got Pulsex at the moment, quadruple zero 231, up 7.13%. So that's a really nice gain there. The total amount of Pulsex bought up and burned 941.9. Let's just round it off at 942 billion. 4.66% of the total supply, public supply, I should say, has been bought up and burned. Incentive token at the moment up 4.78%. Of course, 2.87% is of the Pulse price. The other percentage is for the ratio at 58,677. So incentive token performing like a boss. And we did see that on Monday when we had the route, we did see Pulsex incentive get some buying support. Magic click, wink, wink, or something like that, maybe. It was pretty impressive. We saw the money over the bridge during the live stream, and then later on, it ended up being utilized. Kind of cool. Anyway, we've got the total supply at the moment is at 38.8 million incentive tokens. And of course, they are produced by the Pulsex V1 farm. So those that are new to Pulsex. The Hex at the moment is up 5.9%. So the second best performer after Pulsex today, just below half a penny at 4,900 of a penny. Actually seems to be holding pretty well. So a really good recovery from Hex. So congratulations to those that picked up off the bottom, because that was the one that was struggling the most. EHEX is still down though at 1/10 of a penny, so not much movement there. Combined price of EHEX and PX just below 6/10 of a penny at the moment, so still super cheap over on Hex there. That is day 542, I believe. Let's get into the charts here on the daily. We've got the RSI just pretty chill, still down at 34. So when we do get a rally into Pulsechain, it's going to be pretty awesome because of where we are in the charts here. And unfortunately, after that big rally we came all the way down, and we're hoping that we would actually get a good bounce from there. But looks like we're going to take a longer road to glory. That's kind of where we are there. Let's go to the charts here. Let's pull up the big news. Of course, we're expecting the RH motion to dismiss coming up here in the 22nd of August. So that's getting closer and closer. So we're how many days away? 15 days, 2 weeks until Richard Hart's Dream Team lawyers need to respond to the motion to dismiss in response to the SEC, which came in, remember, on the 8th of July. So that's going to be pretty cool. I think see that as a bullish thing. We probably won't see much of it, but or anything, but we may. It'll be interesting to see. Probably not though. Then of course we've got October with the oral arguments. That's the big day for Pulsechain with the oral arguments there. Fingers crossed we win it, and that would be glorious out the other side. So question mark here, unknown. Maybe a rally into it, maybe a sell-off into it. We shall see. But in any case, and then of course the outcome will be a rally or a decline. We shall see there. And of course, we are expecting, October to be bullish for crypto generally. It might give us some support. We shall see what happens there. And of course, the US elections, interest rate cuts, all that good stuff. Now, the one thing I haven't talked about today, of course, is geopolitical risks. Obviously, we've got the Iran and their 6 proxies potentially attacking. I mean, they've already been attacking, but with rockets and things like that. But any major attack versus Israel, obviously the US putting aircraft carriers off the coast and things like that. So it's a lot of big deal. I'm still skeptical of how far Iran will go. I guess the positive argument would be they attack pre-Trump, but they're going to lose a lot if they do it, right? They're going to lose a lot if they do it. I mean, their infrastructure will be targeted, potentially nuclear sites. So, how much they're really wanting to give up. I'm still skeptical about how far that will go, albeit they will do, some action as they already are doing the last, 24 hours. So we'll see where that lands. Obviously, if it impacts, trade even more and oil and stuff like that, then that's going to be a big issue. And we shall see where that lands. So that's a question mark at the moment. It's what I call a, not a black swan or a white swan, but a gray swan, because we kind of know it's sitting there. Just the extent of it is going to be interesting. All right. The other question mark too, and this is, what do other countries like Russia and China do? Do they all go? Does China go for Taiwan? Does Iran go for, the Israel with all their proxies? I mean, do they all do it at the same time? That's kind of the master play. We haven't seen that so far, but, question mark there. So, that'd be terrible. Of course, we don't want that to happen, but just pointing out the possibilities there. All right, that's Pulse at the moment. Pulsex at the moment as well. Nice big green candle there on the daily. Look at that, beautiful. And look at the range though. We were down at 1884 yesterday or 2 days ago, and the day that this closed, we got the high of 2400. So really nice gain for those periods. So if you manage to pick up the bottom, then that's a 27% gain on Pulsex. So definitely money to be made, right? It's kind of cool. And it's still currently up 22% off that bottom. But looking further afield to the chart, this is the chart that got buying support, interesting enough. So that's very important observation. And look at that, still looking very, very good is the old Pulsex, and of course the RSI there 47. Let's go to the 4 hourly and just to see what that's looking. The RSI, not fully oversold, so it can zigzag around, but it's currently at 53. So plenty of room to move there on the old Pulsex. At least shall see. Back to the NCM token, the ratio there at the top of the range, looking pretty good. I probably need to fix up my lines here because they're a bit wonky, but that's the top of the range there. Let's I have it at 500, 6,500, something like that. So that's kind of cool. Let's fix that up. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Top of the range, looking pretty damn good. Look at this chart, man. Passive income on Pulsex being pretty damn good if you've been in that. Obviously, if Pulse does, hyper rally, you will, and you're in stable coins, you will end up with less pulse, less capital gain, but you'll continue to earn really nice yield in INC. So, a bit of a trade-off there. But at the moment, that's where we are, looking like a boss. We're going to get a breakout eventually, possibly. We shall see. Question mark there. Hex at the moment is down. Big recovery. We got all the way down. I can't believe it. We got all the way down to 4,100, and we're now back at 4,900 on Hex, almost back to half a penny. So a nice little gain there too. Let's have a little measure of that. That is 18%, not as good as Pulsechain, but still pretty nice, and way oversold in my view. We shall see what happens here. That is the daily, and just having a quick look at the 4 hourly, down at 50, so even more room to move with a bit of confidence. We're going to zigzag up, or we're going to roll over, but we shall see too. We'll see what happens, but I'm still feeling pretty good about the next 24 hours. See what the Asian markets do, and then Thursday has got the US time. Thursday has got obviously that big employment data coming out, so we'll see how that goes as well. Fingers crossed. EHEX been a pretty poor cousin, 1/10 of a penny, got all the way down to just below 900th of a penny there, so pretty crazy, but is back at 1/10 there. That's pretty much it. Moving to the derivatives at the moment, top coins, we've got Icosa up 6.8%, Hedron up 4.6%, so Alex McFerder products doing the big lead there. All the Hex staking pools, pretty modest or in losses at the moment. For that one with Dipcatcher and Gold Key. Moving to stable coins, let's have a look here. We've got LUSD making a big move, up almost 20%, and PDI too, 15%. So these are our speculative coins, right? USDC, USD Tether, they are for stables, and they're up pretty nicely there. Let's have a quick look at the LUSD chart, see what that looks like. So yeah, big pump here off the bottom. It looks like it bottomed out at 6,500, now at 9,100 with 7 zeros in front. Not too bad. May lose a zero. Let's see. May lose a zero today. We'll find out, or at least by tomorrow. So that's pretty much it. PDI sitting at just below 2/10 of a penny, and had 2 good days in a row there too. Bounced off 1,400 and up almost at 2/10 of a penny there at the moment. But zooming out a bit more, we can see the 1 cent target is still miles away. Is there mad gains to be made for this? Question mark there. It's speculative, 150. Maybe $100, $150 might turn into a lot if you are willing to be patient. 400%. So there are 5x returns. Might turn $100 into $500. Let's see how that goes. All right, that is that. Let's go to the influencer coins. The big mover, Bromance from Ben Armstrong, up 11%. SolidX up almost 10%. Now remember, I've said this a couple of days in a row, but SolidX is going to have a big game that's being built by DragonX on Ethereum. So they're building on Pulsechain and looking to add a lot of value there. That could really make SolidX rally. And of course, adoption. They're going to maybe even try and challenge Mafia for the top #1 GameFi spot. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, what the game's like. But this is going to be pretty interesting. $16 at the moment. So, relatively good buying compared to how high it has been. The high, of course, was up at $265. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, this SolidX is Randy Lasky's big whale business friend. So we shall see. A little tidbit again to keep dropping that out there. That's pretty much it. Access Live up 8.8%. More from Trevon up as well. So nice to see a bit of movement there. And honorable mention to a note token from Randy Lasky up for 5.6% at the moment. Let's jump over to the overall markets on Pulsechain, see how they're going. Just to wrap things up, we've got what else? We've got 12.2 million in volume, so super low volume. I mean, it's still low. We still need a lot of work there. We had big volume the other day at 35 million, but that was on a down day. So we want to see some updates. We've got 207,000 transactions at the moment. Some of the other big movers today, Pika up 22%. We already talked about LUSD. Teddy Bear again up 16%. So there's been some movers that we saw yesterday as well. Let's see what else. Axis, we talked about that, of course. Fibro coin there. Diehard, obviously with PDI up. Diehard's up as well. What else there? Pepe is up 10% there. DWB, another meme coin there, up almost 11%. We talked about SolidX. PGIF ecosystem is up 9.9%. Let's have a quick look at PGIF and see how that's been performing. Yeah, this on the hourly. Let me go to the daily. Definitely on a rally on the hourly, but yeah, nice bit of green day there from PGIF. Obviously, Giffordware is playing on Mafia, and It's up there, right there. And we've got UFO as well, up 9.95%. What else is looking nice there? 9mm is up, so good to see one of the big DEXs up, 8.4% at just over almost 3.5 cents is 9mm. What else then? P-Drip, one of the RIO protocols, up 8%. Nanameme there, up 8% there. Fugazi up 8%. So there we go, folks. A bit of a mix between, one DEX, a few DAOs, reflection tokens, lots of memes, and a few speculative stable coins kind of lead off, and some influencer coins. It's kind of a mixed bag of things there in the leaderboard on Pulsechain, Pulse Gains. Let's jump over to the gas prices. 200,000 beats. Yay! Cheap gas on Pulsechain. 0.3 of a penny for a Pulsex swap, 200 of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, and 500 of a penny for a PRC twin transfer. You can see on the chart there, it's just tapered off there. Pretty cool. Even with two Gwei on Ethereum, we're 600 times cheaper than Ethereum. Moving to the validators, like I say, picking up Pulse at the moment. You want to be a validator, 32 million Pulse. It's a really cheap time to do it. 48,398 validators, 1.55 trillion stake with the validators at the moment off the market. And then the bridge course is at 89.4. So we're down, what's that, about just under $1 million from yesterday? I think so. Yeah, we're just over 90 million yesterday. We're at 89.4 today. Despite ETH there. So yeah, DAI is down to was about 2.2 million over the last couple of days. So it looks like we've lost a lot of DAI there. We've got ETH at the moment is obviously rebounded. Bitcoin's rebounded. I didn't check Coast to see how much peg that was. EHEX is still down at 1/10 of a penny. And these dollars here for USDC, I just can't remember the reference point. But DAI is definitely down a couple $1 million. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. 89.4 million. So fingers crossed we can get that back over 100 million in the next week. That'd be pretty cool. But like I say, the next 6 weeks probably going to be pretty volatile. Let's go to the Hex on Pulsechain. We're going to get that update. Oh, it looks like it's stuck in rendering here. It's not updating. Oh, well, that's it for Hex. Sorry, I was going to talk about Hex, but there you go. Hey, have we got Pulsechain? Well, we're waiting for day 1709, which will be day 452. We got day 451, which we didn't get to talk about yesterday. So yeah, 5th of August. We got 7.12 Hex, 7.129 Hex that day. But look at the share rate jump big time on day 451, 173 Hex per T-share. We're sitting at 35,884 on the Hex share rate there. Wow, I bet Hexy Bastards, not Hexy Bastard. The Crispy Man. We'll be talking about that on his show. He's kind of the person that does the in-depth details on Hex now. And we're at 7,500 T-shares down. I'm sitting at 9,181,000 T-shirts in the ownership pool. Looking at the reward pool, we've got modest penalties, only 90,000. That's nothing. 65.5 million in the reward pool there. Pretty good. Usual growth in liquid holders, but down in miners. 123,237 miners on the old Hex on Pulsechain. Hex.com, check it out. Mine on Hex on Ethereum or Pulsechain. Check it out there today. All right, kind of cool. That is pretty much it. Now we've just started day 453. Can you believe it? 453, and we're still green on the charts. How about that? It's good. No, not too bad. All right, that is the market roundup. Man, we talked about lots of stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now with Dog too, I saw Leonidas pushed out there something about Dog. I posted that in the Strategy Club, so if you're in the Strategy Club, you would see that. But as part of the cool things there. Hexavator in the house there. Hey gang, good to see Hexavator. I hope you're doing well there. Bang bang says Wookie. Bang bang indeed. All right, 43 minutes on the hour. Not bad for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the rebound. Fingers crossed we can hold that up, and fingers crossed we get some good employment data on Thursday. And and the Asian markets don't decide to do another wobbly. Those are kind of the things in the medium time. And of course, let's see what Iran does as well. The question mark there. All right, let's see. What else are we going to talk about here? I think that's pretty much it. So let's play our cool video on the way out, I think. Shall we? Let's do it. Let's do Magic Art Ride video. Because I think we saw a bit of Magic Art Ride the other day. So kind of cool. Take care, everybody. Look forward to it. Don't forget the links to join Discord is in the video description. You can join up to general Discord, $5 a month, 16 cents a day, or into Strategy Club, $35 a month there. And that's a private club within Discord. Obviously, you can subscribe on all the 3 YouTube channels. We're streaming to over 10,500 subscribers on Hex Token Channels, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X. Big shout out to all the new members, of course. And of course, you can either support through Discord or support on the membership here on the YouTube as well. All right, I think that's pretty much it. We've done the admin. Don't forget, I've got Mafia Show with the Don Capone for the #1 family, the syndicate, the most feared family on Mafia. That's coming up on Friday, US time, Saturday, down under time. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, take care. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.